What's up? So we're officially live right now.
All right, lit. All right, all right. Yep, for sure, man. You caught the live. That's what's good. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how's it hanging? It's your boy, the good doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again once again. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm kind of excited for this one, man. I'm not even gonna front. I'm really excited for you. I'm gonna let you guys come into the building real quick before we actually get started. But I can't lie, guys. I'm kind of excited for this live stream, and the reason I'm excited is because when I had a chance to watch this young man's video, it really did bring me back to a time when I first had the opportunity to visit the Philippines, man. Tyee, brother, I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself to the audience, fam.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, tell a little bit about your background, where you're from, things like that. Go for it.
Okay. What's good? I'm happy to be here. First of all, I'm a huge fan of your channel, and yeah. So basically, I'm a 20-year-old guy out of California. I live inside Joshua Tree, and I'm like last year. Yeah, back in 2019, I made like this 6-month trip out to the Philippines, and I got the experience to live there. And yeah, I'm back home right now, but I plan on visiting again probably like around 2021. So I got to spend a couple months out there, and I made a video sharing my experiences, and yeah, basically what I thought about it.
All right. Yeah, it was all right, man. But yeah, guys, if you look in the link in the description area below, I did put a link to that particular video because this was the video that first introduced me to my man's right here. Okay. Now, you said you spent about how long in the Philippines?
I spent it was actually 5 months inside the Philippines from July all the way to December.
5 months in. Okay. And I had an opportunity. I caught a couple of your Instagram tags where I saw you dunking on them people in the Philippines. I thought that was awesome. You know how big the sport of basketball is in the Philippines. I got to see that clip. And then I actually when I watched your video, you said a lot of interesting things. And like I said, it was very, very refreshing. So you said the first time you came to the Philippines, you were 19 years old. That
Yeah.
was just was that on a whim? Was that like what was your going to the Philippines that particular time?
So the way my life ventured into me making this like international journey all the way from California to the Philippines, it all started with the girl that I was dating at the time. I was dating a Filipino woman, and she had grown up inside the Philippines. She completed her like high school education out inside California, and we met at school. And yeah, we got together. And after graduation, she had told me that she was interested in doing pageants and some other stuff out in the Philippines. If I would be willing to like join her and going out there. And I had never traveled like anywhere outside the country, so I took the opportunity, and then it basically led to me taking like a 5-month trip out there, and yeah, just living out there for a bit. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, I think right, bruh, everybody's experiences in the Philippines will always be different. And the way and everybody's roundabout way of getting to the Philippines will be different. I would have never probably hopped on a plane with a young lady from school to travel all the way halfway around the world at 19 after graduation, man. I mean, the story itself, it's interesting itself. So I know you talked briefly in the video about your first time, like the first things that you noticed about the Philippines when you touched down. Do you want to touch on that briefly? Like,
Yeah.
what was the things that really stood out about your first
So
time experience whenever you got to the Philippines?
yeah, when I first got there, obviously I'm kind of a tall guy, so that stood out just as soon as I hopped off the plane. And I could tell that the seats inside the airplane, they weren't really like meant to be spacious my size. And then just the fact that, everybody was Filipino, like that really struck me because
Yeah.
California, you're used to so many like different diversities and demographics and stuff. And like it was just all Filipinos. So I mean, that's something that should be expected, but it was like a real shock, like shocking shocker for me. And yeah, that was like the first thing that I noticed. But
R-
oh, the at the airport, I had like an interesting run-in with some people that they were basically trying to take my luggage, and I was trying to explain to them that my girlfriend was waiting for me, and they like hustlers out there, right? People that try to hassle you.
right. Yeah. Of course, you're gonna.
Yeah. So that was like basically my first
They'll
experience.
find the basically.
Yeah. Um, but
Damn.
I mean, it was all good. Like at
You couldn't
first,
even get in the country good before they tried to get you.
exactly. Like take my bags for me, telling me they have like some sort of taxi company and everything like that. That's something you gotta watch out for out there. It's like there's a lot of people trying to basically like take advantage of foreigners and stuff. Upcharge them and stuff like that, acting friendly. But yeah, it was nothing to me though. I was just confused as hell at first.
No, that's right. And to be honest with you, that does bring about something that is really interesting. And this is what I noticed in like the when traveling by bus. Like we're pretty much familiar with the taxi cab scam. They'll try not to start the meter and that that particular situation, but a lot of them will grab your luggage for you. Like they
Mhm.
will grab your shit and like run to whatever wherever they're supposed to go, right? And I mean, you'll do it. Oh, sir, I'm trying to help you, sir. And they'll take you to a place you don't know where the hell you're going or where they're taking your luggage. So you find yourself following them, not even asking. They'll just take your shit, and you'll be like, wait a minute, where are we going? And that's something that, like I said, I noticed that when I was trying to when I was traveling by bus, they'll like say, "Oh, sir, let me help you." They, like the bus terminal dudes or whatever that are hustling or haggling and shit. I'm like, man, you you can't even put your stuff down for a second. But yeah, man, it sucks that that's your first experience. But as your time went on, what else did you really experience? Going through your experience in the Philippines.
Really, just the fact that I was so much different than everybody there. So I had to get used to whenever I was out in public,
Mm-hmm.
everybody staring at me. And these were like it was
Mm-hmm.
weird. I never experienced being in California. Like I'm just an average guy, I walk around, I don't get a whole lot of stares and stuff like that. And it was like everybody, like as soon as I walked down the street, like eyes were on me, and it took me a while to get used to that. And then with the whole language thing, it was pretty cool. But I feel like I should have picked up a little bit more of the language before I went out there, because it was a little bit difficult, having conversations with people and stuff. But yeah, just like just the on
Yeah,
surface, that's really what I noticed, that I was just so much different than all the people out there. I really felt like I was in a
you're
different
right.
world.
Right. So, the young lady that you were with at the time, did she do any like tips or pointers or anything about the country before, bringing you there? Things that you should probably
You know what's
do or things you shouldn't do? Did she give you the rundown or did she kind of leave you? Go ahead, go for it.
okay? Yeah, the funny thing about that, he actually went down there like a month before I traveled. So I took that plane ride by myself, right? And she said that she was gonna meet me at the airport, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like lost as hell. I couldn't like really find where they were, and I had like no Wi-Fi, no signal on my phone to text anybody. So like basically, when I went down there, I was alone by myself for like almost 2 hours, and that's when I dealt with like the taxis and other people like that. And like no, she didn't give me like any pointers. She didn't give me like any advice on where to go or anything like that. So it was scary. But when I got with her, because she was my girlfriend at the time, she really took good care of me. And, we found a place to live, and she was really helpful on getting everything set up for us out there.
Okay, bet. So she kind of went down a whole month before.
Yeah. She
and
had traveled.
kind of
Yeah.
basically set you guys. Okay,
Mhm.
right. No, you good. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
Was gonna say she had went down there a month before because they
Nah,
have.
because what I wanted to talk about. Okay.
Wait, you good, bro?
I'm sorry, bro. I keep interrupting you, man.
Oh,
It's
you
the lagging, man. I'm sorry. Hey, bro, do me a solid. Yeah, do me a solid. Can you do a refresh? Like, I want you to log out of the stream, and I want you to come back in for to help with the lag. Can you do that for me real quick?
got you.
Just shut it out and then re-bring yourself back in, and I'll add you in. Okay.
Okay, bet.
All right. So yeah, I want my brother to go ahead and do his thing, and he's gonna come back in. Big love to my brother, Black American Expat, man. It's good to see you in the building, my brother. Many salutes, many blessings to you. Like I whatever was the past. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, nothing but love for my family. All right. So again, guys, as we're waiting for my mans to come back in, I want to give you a quick recap of what he was saying. A young brother, 19 years old, decided to travel to the Philippines with a significant other, a young Filipina that he met while he was in school in California. Right now, I'm gonna bring it back on
Hopefully that worked.
if this everything's going good. Hey, you good, fam?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm trying. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were all right, bet. Okay, so you touched down in Manila, right?
Yes.
You touched down in Manila, and then you ended up traveling to what particular province in the Philippines? What particular province in the Philippines did you travel to?
So I think it was like in the Bicol region. The place we were staying in, it was Sorsogon. Have you ever been to Sorsogon City?
Me personally, no. So, see, this sucks because as a foreigner, I don't know what it is about most of us, but we kind of figure that many of the provinces in the Philippines normally are about the same. So, if you go to a province in Davao City, sometimes you might think, well, a province in Manila might be the same. So, I'm trying to figure out what were your experiences like in that particular province outside of Manila. I know you said it was about an 8 or 9 hour bus ride. I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
the time frame.
It was
How long did you say it took you to, or how?
yeah, it was like a whole day bus
Right, but
ride.
you said it kept breaking down, so it took longer than
Yeah, it
right.
took
It- yeah, so go for it.
it really took us about the whole day because so the first day that I got there, I landed at night. So we stayed at a hotel, and then that next morning we got on the bus, and we didn't make it till Sorsogon till about like maybe 9. No, probably like 5 in the morning the next day. So it was like it had to be like a 14-hour bus ride or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah.
just crazy, fam. So yeah. All right. Hey, so what's your bus trip like, man? All Filipinos, I'm sure. Did you see any foreigners at all? Not even American, Black American, but any foreigners at all on your trip?
No foreigners, just Filipino people, merchants that went inside the bus. A whole bunch, like a shitload of animals as we were traveling and everything like that. And yeah, it felt different. It really felt like I was in a different world, man. That's the best way to describe it. It felt like I was just like looking in
Yeah,
on.
man. For sure, man. The Philippines is a different vibe, ladies and gentlemen. Big love to my brother, like I said, Black American Expat showing up. Guys, make sure you do get the likes up on the video, man. I would highly appreciate that, man. You know the rules. Make sure you guys caress, molest, teach yourself with that like button. It wants, it needs, it most definitely has to have it. So my man makes it to Sorsogon.
This.
And I know what you mean by the bus merchant. For example, when you were on the bus, you talked about the stairs that you would get. Let's be honest, man. As a foreigner in general, we get stairs. But a 6'3" foreigner right here, he's tall as shit. You know, I'm a short dude, but my man 6'3". Did they really kind of like? I mean, they looked at you probably a whole lot different. They would probably look at somebody like me.
Yeah.
Now, the basketball experience. Let's talk about that because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know where this comes from. Have no idea. Well, actually, I'm lying. I do know where this comes from. But if you're African American, African, whatever it may be, when you come to the Philippines, how long did it take you to ask you about playing basketball or coming to play basketball at the court with them or things like that? Was it like a next day thing?
No, it took
Did you just go there on your own? Because they automatically think we could play ball. I'm not gonna go ahead. I suck, but go ahead.
it literally took until I got on the plane ride. It didn't, like, not even my first day. So literally as soon as I got on the plane from Hong Kong going to Manila, the the guy I sat right next to, he was asking me if I was in the Philippines to play basketball. So they automatically assumed that I was there for some bad related thing. It was kind of flattering though, because
Well,
I enjoy playing basketball. So I mean, I didn't take it any type of way, but I just thought it was funny that everybody assumed that the business that I had there involved basketball.
but you know what? I mean, well, we have to be honest with ourselves, guys. Philippines is like, I think basketball is like the number one.
Sport.
How can I say this? It's the number one sport in the country, hands
Yeah.
down. First, for sure, no doubt in my mind. So what you'll notice, I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of college players, like normally they'll get what they call imports. That's what they call them. People that they bring in from other countries to play in like their national basketball or their PBA, the Philippine Basketball Association, or they'll have you, like, for example, since you're pretty young, they might think that you're the newest import at one of the local universities there. So, don't think, like you said, it's good you didn't take it a certain kind of way or anything, but that's just like a normal thing in the Philippines, bro. Like, basketball is like their sport, and to be honest, I think they believe that literally every African American that comes in the country can ball up.
For
I
real.
mean, that's just what it is, and they all want to test their skills against you. You
Yeah.
being as tall as you are, and like you said, Filipinos average height. I think Filipino men average height maybe 5'5", maybe 5'6". They're gonna want to try you. So when I
Uh,
saw a video of you at the basketball court, did you take yourself there? Were you invited to come hang out? What was that all about?
so the way it's crazy, because when I started living down there, I told myself I was gonna basically jump between all the different provinces. I was gonna see as much as possible. But once I got comfortable inside the city, that park I would go to like every single day. I made so many friends there, and it was one of those places where like I would just hang out like the majority of my day. Like, and we would all play basketball, and yeah, it was almost like the equivalent of like my home park here. I would just go play basketball there every day, entertain the people, maybe gamble a little bit, make some money.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, they got you to what for some pesos and shit. You used to play like 20 pesos a game or something like that. Because they do
Yeah.
that in my neighborhood. It's probably a little bit more where you were at, but yeah, they will find a way to bet on anything, man. If I've noticed anything about Philippine culture, number one, they'll bet on everything. Number two, they will 100% ball. So I bet you everybody wanted you on their team for sure.
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
sure of that one, especially when they
I
realize
re-
you can dunk.
when I was on the team, they would pick me up. Like,
Yeah, man. I'm.
we would rarely lose.
Mhm.
Got to the point towards the end of my trip, they didn't want to play basketball with me. They were like basically shunning me from the courts and everything.
Oh, that makes sense. You.
Yeah.
That's a shame, man. You go there to show up and show out. Now they don't even want you around. That's fucked up, but it's funny, yeah. Hey, man. All right. So, how many actual provinces or how many places did you actually get a chance to see throughout your 5 month experience in the Philippines? How many places can you recall that you actually got to see?
I went to Boracay. I went to Porta Galera. I visited Manila a couple times, and then I mainly stuck around like I think it's called the Bicol region. So Sorsogon, Legazpi, um,
Yeah.
Naga. What Quezon City? I went there. Erosin,
Oh,
like all these different
yeah,
like small. I
Kazan. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not good with names, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, uh, I tried to remember where I was, but it's like so different out there. It's kind of like one of those things. Like I know the landmarks more than I
Mhm.
know like cities. Cassie Guron, yeah, I went there as well. But yeah,
Facts. Um,
I traveled a lot.
yeah. Bet all of the places that you listed, was there anyone in particular that stood out to you? Maybe there was like a something there, like maybe there was a landmark or like was just too full to leave, something like that. Was there any place that really stuck out to you during your trip?
Yeah, it was definitely the island of Porta Galera, and so I went jet skiing. I went
Mm-hmm.
like diving. I went it's not skydiving, it's zip lining. Yeah, I did zip lining, and I went to the beaches. It was like so beautiful. It was just an amazing experience, and any foreigners, I would recommend that they go there too, because it's one of those places where, you know, there's also other foreigners. So it was like a good way. Like if I had went there when I first made my trip, I felt like that would have been a good way to like ease into the Filipino culture, you know, because there's other foreigners there as well.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
bring up a great point, man. I'm glad that you said that. When it comes to easing gears from the Philippines, I think me, maybe my brother Jay, I think we may have all mentioned you want to go to places, and some foreigners may go against the grain on this one, but even I think it's okay to kind of go to places where there might be at least some foreigners, if this is your first time in the Philippines, because again, it's not easy, like you said, transitioning into a place if you're really going straight to the province, because you're going to need somebody to help you out or to adjust. But at least with a place like Manila, even though I don't think you should stay there for a long time, places like that will at least get your footing before you choose to venture out into areas. Um, Also, you did bring up a great point in reference to Porto Galera. It's like one of those eighth wonder of the world type places. It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful place. In comparison to Boracay, what would you say? What would you
Uh,
say if you had to compare between Boracay and Porto Galera? Go ahead, because that's what we like.
so I went to like the island of Boracay. So it's like, you know, it's one of those islands that, you know, the water's like blue, greenish and stuff like that. And it's just like it's one of those like islands that it kind of looks like it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then where I was staying inside Porto
Mm-hmm.
Galera, it was we still were like on the beachfront, but it was a little bit more like city like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I also went to Barack.
So in comparison, you kind of had the I feel in Boracay, but more. Mm,
Oh no, you
okay,
can go.
I got what you mean.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Oh
Baraka
no,
is
I
like,
was just comparing the two. When you were in Boracay, you were more like in like the island.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's more. It was
My
more
bad, bro.
for
Go ahead. Go ahead.
our actual vacation, and then when we stayed in Porto Galera, it was more of like we treated it like a city. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was more home like.
I bet. Cool, man. Okay, bet. So you said that Porto Galera, out of all of them, were probably one of the best places that you stayed. All right. I want to get to something that you may not have been asked before.
What?
You said you went to a lot of different places and things like this. Your funding, man. How, in reference to paying for your trip and all of this stuff, did you have money saved up? Like, how was the funding for it? And also, how much out of all of your time in the Philippines do you think that you actually spent for your whole time there for like the 5 months? If you could give me a estimation.
Yeah, you're right, because a lot of times people don't ask about the funding part of it. They just look at the adventure, you know, side of it. But the funding for it,
Yeah.
it actually it took about, I would say, 8 months to save up, like roughly, because fortunately I live inside California, and I was working two jobs at the time. I was working at America's Tires, a tire shop, and I was working at a grocery store. So basically, when my girlfriend had told me, like, hey, I want to make this trip, we both just started saving little by little. And then I think we saved up like $7,000 together. And then we also had our own pocket money. You know what I mean? And then we also
Shit,
bought,
man. That's a good job. Go ahead.
yeah. So we took our pocket. I took like a couple thousand with me, and then she took her pocket money for souvenirs and stuff. And yeah, we lived pretty comfortable out there. Like the rent compared to California, because the exchange rate is crazy out there for me, because it'd be like 1 US dollar is like, I think at the moment, like 48 pesos or something like that. And so I was just really thriving off that. My rent was only like $200, and I managed to stay about 5 months out there, and I didn't really run broke. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, and I remember in the video, bro, did you say that you actually like you just rented a motorcycle or did you get one like to get
Nah.
around? Because I thought I heard you mention that in the video.
Yeah. So
Or did you
we
borrow one?
actually no, we cashed out on a bike at like this dealership, and like to equate it to like how it would be if you were in America, I think the bike only cost us like around $900. And then the rent was only $200, so we paid that all up. And then from really there, it was just like food, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have all of our own money and stuff like that. So it was like a very it worked out really well. Honestly, it was like a really enjoyable experience. And I'm not like I don't have a lot of support from my family. So it's like it was cool that I was able to do that all on my own at such a young age, and I didn't really have to ask anybody for help.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, like when I actually saw your video
Mm.
and I saw that you were like fucking 19, I was like, man, that's because normally you don't have a lot of young travelers. Let's be honest. Number one. Number two, you don't have a lot of young black travelers, period, in their age demographic. And I thought that that was pretty fascinating. That's why I wanted to bring you on. I wanted you to share your story. I wanted you to be able to say, okay, this is learned, from a young perspective, a younger lens,
Mhm.
with my time and experiences in the Philippines. And I love that shit, man. And I love I love it when I see and that shit's like the top of the world to me because it shows that we have younger men, like my man Jay says. It shows that you guys know your options, man. You can travel outside of different areas and you can really explore, outside of your neighborhoods and things like that. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
the main question, fam. Everybody wants to. I mean, this is this isn't a secret, man. But the women, man, what was your experience like with the young ladies? I know I thought you were their significant other at the moment, but come
Yeah.
on now, you can't tell me they weren't staring at you. I mean, you can't tell me that
uh,
at all. But go ahead, man. What was your what did you notice?
so when I first went down there, I was pretty active on Facebook, so I got at least like 400 friend requests within like the first 2 weeks. And my inbox was flooded with people from my city, many people that had seen me like walking around and stuff. I don't know how the hell they found my Facebook, but yeah, they found it. I got some pretty weird messages
That's a
about,
question.
there's honestly the things that people ask me, it just like made me realize they've never seen black people, so I really can't blame them. I got a lot of those stereotypes and stuff like that, and I mean it was popping, but at the time I was with my partner, so I respected her a lot. But honestly, for any foreigners looking to go to the Philippines, decent looking man, the women are gonna be all over you, like for real, for real. I got a lot of choosing signals out there.
My fam, I can't. First of all, my man, tell bro, 400 friend request, kid. 400. We first touched down. These people don't know you. They don't know
Exactly.
where you're from. Did they know your name? Because I think because your name is kind of right. your name
Mhm.
is unique, bro. So I think if you see it on Facebook or something like that, it's likely gonna come up. But did they know your name, or you? These are people you never
So
talked to. They don't know you, anything like that.
the thing about my girlfriend was she was actually telling her best friends and stuff about me before I had got down there, describing them and stuff, like making a description of me before I got down there. So I feel like as soon as I landed inside Sortagon, my name got around pretty quick, and like it was only a while before like I was the only black person in town, and I was a familiar face around there.
Oh yeah, when you're the only one, bro, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. A sore
Exactly.
thumb. Heaven forbid. Like I said, bro, you're fitting the profile, my friend. And like I said, your girlfriend kind of
Yeah.
at
Uh,
the time she kind of put herself at a deficit by bragging. Well, not bragging about you, but saying your name around, and that's how you got 400 people trying to inbox you with some seriousness, man. It's bugging, but I mean that's what you get, man. When you travel to the areas where there's least amount of foreigners coming in, you're probably gonna get a lot of, like you said, the choosing signals. 100%, man. They are there. I
mm,
mean, and it's a good and a bad thing to an extent. It could hurt you more than it can help you, but you can't
yeah.
really do anything about it. You can either accept it or reject it. So I
Yeah, because
appreciate you showing some respect to your young lady, but this second time, go ahead.
the the girl that I was with at the time, it was like we like lived together and we did everything together. Whenever I was out in public, we were together. So, I mean, I saw the looks, I saw the stares, and she saw the messages too. It was just one of those things like I couldn't act on, you know what I mean? If I go down there like a free man, single man, then it's a different story. You
But I think this second trip go really show you a great time, man. I can already sense it, man. Whenever this stuff ends and everybody can get the traveling back to normal and having some fun, yeah, man. Your second time around, I can already guarantee you gonna have the time of your life, man.
um,
I hope I'm
and
around, man. It would be good to link up,
I'm
man,
gonna
for
be
sure, for sure. But yeah, man, are you gonna be
oh, sorry
21?
for yeah.
Yeah, when you turn 21, man.
May
Nah, you good,
22nd.
B. You good. When do you turn 21?
Yeah,
Of
May
this month?
22nd. No, May 22nd of
Oh,
2028.
May 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yo, but let me keep it real with you, fam. There ain't no drinking age in the Philippines, bro. If you wanted to, man, you could have drunk while you were there. You get people 16, 17 years old turned up, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah, there ain't no real drinking age in the Philippines, man. I remember like in my neighborhood, my neighbors used to send like their 5-year-old son to the store.
Mm,
And I don't know if you know the drinks and stuff like Red Horses and your San Miguel's. They come in those big bottles. They used to
yeah.
like buy like two or three of those. The 5-year-old kid, right, and some cigarettes. And the sorry store owner used to give it to him. I mean, they knew it was going to the parents, but still, the fact that you would allow the kid to it's just weird, man. But like those are some of the things that you see in the Philippines. I also remember
For
you said you saw like people riding on the tops of tricycles and shit, right? That was one of the craziest things that you saw while you were there. Or what was the craziest thing that you did see? Go ahead, man. I remember. I watched the video, bro. Go ahead.
so I'll say two things. First, the bus ride, because the bus ride, it was like the bus ride was really supposed to be longer than what it was, even though the bus kept breaking down. Like the bus itself, it was traveling at such a high speed. And when I say we were going around like cliffs and like we were basically going through like a forest like the whole way there. And yeah, he was just going like freaking top speed. He had to be going like 70, 80 miles per hour, and like the roads were hella narrow, and I was just like, oh my gosh, and mama, like I thought I was about to die at that moment, for real, for real. So like the speeding and shit, that's what got me. But the also like moving along with people on top of tricycles. You know the jeepneys out there, like the jeeps that basically take people from like little cities to little cities. Like people would ride on the top of those too, and I would just be like, "What the hell?" Like, there's no way anybody could get me to ride on the top of that because, bro, if you fall off, like you're gonna break a fucking arm or something like that. So it was crazy, like just how adventurous the people were, and just like
Nah,
they didn't care, you know what I mean? And it just felt like so free out there, man.
I feel you, man. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie, man. Them bus drivers, man, they're hit and miss, man. Sometimes you have to be careful. Sometimes you have some that you be like, man, I can't ride with this dude no more. And you're right though, they be bending them corners hella hard and shit on cliffs. That happened to me before. I said, man, if we go off a cliff or hit something, man, we are fucked, you know, because you know there's nothing guarding you on like the left side of the road or whatever side you're driving on. So there's like no guardrail or anything really protecting you. You're putting your life in this man's hands, and all you can do is
Like,
pray that this will take you along with them. Heaven forbid it's somebody else's time to die. You be like, bro, this is not how I want to go out. I want to make some of this. I'm with you on that one. But the
yeah,
bus is really a cheap way to travel, man. I mean, it sucks. I mean, it's good to get around, you know, and it's a cheap way to travel. But damn, I ain't trying to die this way, man. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. And as far as the jeepneys, you know, the people they call it jeepney surf in the Philippines, man, where you see them hanging off the back of it or like hanging off the side or in the top of it. They
yeah,
they do that shit for
a whole bunch
they
of
do that shit for no reason. That's like activity. They be
yeah,
dude, that should be so they be so cool with it though. Like they're not phased by it. Probably be going just as fast as the buses. They look mad chill. Like I can't, like I said, bro, I can't do it either, man. I can't do it. Um, but chat, my man says they drive reckless so that they can make their time. That's true.
mm,
You know, at certain stops in the Philippines, you gotta be at like some stops at certain times in order to like whenever you're picking up new passengers and things like that. So I respect it, but I still ain't trying to die for no bus trip, fam. I mean, you know, it's just not worth it. So
man.
yeah, you can miss me with all of that shit, bro. But yeah.
I, I had to get a
All
motorcycle.
right, man. Finally, I'm gonna go ahead and let you ride out, man. Yeah. So any final words, any things that you want to talk about your experience overall? What did you like? How would you rate it? When are you going back? Are you traveling to other places? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, so honestly, traveling to the Philippines, it basically opened my eyes, and it just made me realize that I want to travel so many different places across the world, and that, you know, there's more places than California. Even though California is like a hotspot destination for a lot of the world, I just want to really get out here and just see like what what's there to offer, you know? So I'm definitely gonna be making like another trip to the Philippines. It was honestly, I consider it like a second home for me. That's how close I got to the people and I got to the region. But I also just want to travel all over Asia. You know, I want to go to Japan. I want to visit China, Korea, all these different you know, places and shit like that. And yeah, like I just appreciate you for having me, and I appreciate what you're doing. You know, getting the word out that this is a community of Black people that do enjoy the Philippines and like the culture and everything like that. Because I feel like there's not a lot of representation from you know, young people like us traveling and trying to, you know, see all these different places. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man, and I'm glad that when I reached out to you, you already, you knew a little bit about it because it made it easier to bring you on. But yeah, man, like I said, man, I'm all for travel now. I mean, and like you said, man, it's just, especially, all things considering what we got to deal with in the United States right now. I'm like, yo, we really should be able and open to really see other parts of the world and stuff like that. So like I said, man, I'm just blessed to, be able to have you on, man, and share your experiences, man. At the time, 19 years old, like you don't see that shit, man. You just, that's why I was so excited when I saw the video. I said, man, this kid can't be no older than in your, like you were a teenager, man. I was like, this shit's got to be real. So, like I said, I'm glad I was able to, reach out to you on Instagram and everything, and bring you on. And like I said, man, I would love to have you on for some future shows and stuff. I would love to see you in the
Of
chat and
course.
everything, and you can, just ride with us, man, for sure, man. So thank you, my brother. Many blessings to you, family. Guys, I appreciate those that sat through and listened to the live stream with us, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to, create a nice little narrative. And I think that the community that we're gonna create from this point forward, I think we're really gonna like change the narrative and change the game a little bit. One video at a time, one live at a time, and things like that. I think we're gonna really bring a lot of people to, the forefront. And like I said, man, I want you to be along for the ride, fam. I want you to be with us on this. So I appreciate your time, G. I'm gonna let you go on and do your thing. All right. For all, like,
I
thank you
appreciate
guys for showing up. Thank you guys for listening in. Yes, sir. All right, man. I appreciate you guys. All right. So I appreciate you guys coming through, spending time with Doc. And, I appreciate you guys, listening to my guests. Like I said, man, we had some lagging issues. I apologize, but thank you for sticking it out anyways. I hope to see you guys on the next time around. So with that being said, the good doc is officially out, at least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mabuhay.